Hi, everyone. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday to all. I hope you've had a great weekend. You're having a great start to your week. I'm talking today about something that is extremely sensitive to me. I'm very passionate about, and I hope you guys will join me and share in this conversation because it's super important, frankly. So, thank you for joining. Share this out if you want to talk about this because we need to talk about it, my friends. It's crazy out there. Here in the United States, we just had another school shooting at University of North Carolina, and there was a shooting that was yesterday. The day before, there was a shooting somewhere else, a public shooting. Hello to everyone joining me. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with me today. I'm super grateful for that. Okay, before we get started, for those of you that are joining me new, haven't been with me before, you can give me a hashtag new so I know that you're here new with me. Let me tell you who I am. I am Celia Kibler. I'm a family and relationship empowerment coach. I am the award winning author because I just won the Mom's Choice Award for raising happy toddlers, how to build great parenting skills and stop yelling at your kids. I wrote this book like a manual. So you can look up whatever you want, talking back, teaching children not to lie, anything you want in here, potty training, tantrums, the whole gamut, it's all in here. And I have 3 wonderful children's books as well. I am grateful. Being different is fun and all about me. All books are available at celiasbooks.com. And again, excited to have just won the Mom's Choice Award for raising happy toddlers. I am also a mommy of 5 kids. 2 I gave birth to, 3 I gained through marriage. I have been a real life parent for 41 years, and I have been successfully parenting a blended family for over 27 years. And I have 40 years of professional experience. So I'm here to help you with all that you need. But let's talk about my passion, and that is kind of calming this world. So, if you don't know, I'm the founder of Pumped Up Parenting. I am the co founder of Fun Fit Family Fitness, and I'm the founder of the Day of Calm Foundation and the International Day of Calm on April 5th. Why? Because I am in a mission to help 10 million parents stop yelling at their kids, giving you guys different techniques and strategies that you can use, you can put into place in your home now so that you remove the need to yell. I raised these kids for 41 years without yelling. Did I never yell? No, I probably yelled once in a while. But if you remove the need to yell and you encourage cooperation, guess what? It is a much more harmonious, happy home. We're only on this life for a short time, and kids grow up like lightning. So let's have it happy. Let's have it respectful. Let's get everyone cooperating and wanting to cooperate. Because here's the problem. We have all this senseless violence. We have all these school shootings against children. Why? Because there are adults and young adults, because many of these shooters are kids that are so filled with anger and rage because they were raised learning how to be bullies, learning that they're not important, learning how in their family life no one cared about them. They felt like bad kids. They felt like bad kids from the time they were little because everything they did, they were yelled at for doing. They were never encouraged. Nobody ever noticed when they tried to do good. They only fed attention to the negative. And when you only feed attention to the negative and you scream and yell, you teach children that they're bad kids. Why? Because they feel like they do nothing right. And if they feel like they do nothing right, the opposite is they do everything wrong. Who grew up like that? If you grew up like that, give me an emoji. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a me. Let me know. Because when you grow up with yelling being the main form of communication in your home and aggressive behavior, you get hit, you get spanked, whatever. In some cultures, it's even worse than that. You get beaten, bullied. If that is the culture of your home, you grow up feeling like you are a piece of crap. You don't grow up hating your parents, you grow up hating yourself. Hi, Izzy. I'm sorry you grew up that way. And yes, when we grow up hating ourselves, guess what? We grow up and we do things that is against the world because we are so miserable inside. If we don't try to end these generational cycles of dysfunction and abuse that go from generation to generation to generation, we will only create more and more disgruntled, unhappy, raging adults. My family never yelled. They did this stare down thing that sends chills through my body that really frightened me. Yes, all kinds of manipulative behavior. Do you know that communication is 80%, like you say, nonverbal cues? 20% the words you say. So if you are saying something and you're screaming or yelling it, or you're staring at your child down, or you're rolling your eyes, or you're not even looking at your child because you're too busy checking your phone, that is the message that is being sent. And if you agree with me, let me know you agree with me. This is what has to change. We need to change adults at the human core. And how do we change adults at the human core? If you go to dayofcalm.org, that is my Day of Calm Foundation, you can support us if you agree with it. Thanks, Shar. The human core is when we're parenting these children, when these children are being brought up from babies. Parents need to realize that our human brains do not completely finish developing until we are 25 years old. So if you're not 25, you don't have a human brain that's fully developed. Imagine the brain of a child. Like a 2-year-old's got 23 more years of development. 5-year-old, 20 more years. 13-year-old, however much that is. How much is that? 12 more years. I'm such a mathematician. 12 more years of brain development. And who is their biggest, strongest role models? You are, you the parents, and not just parents. This is my point. We are all role models to children, all of us, actors, sports figures, people in the news. You turn on the news, which you shouldn't do, but if you do, and this shooting happens, and this shooting happens, and this shooting happens, it makes people numb to it. Oh, another shooting. Cheers on water. I'm running out. Don't have a lot of water. Another shooting. Another enraged human. The child, and I say child because he was a child, that just shot up the University of North Carolina yesterday was a child. I don't know how old he was, but he didn't look very old. I mean, maybe he was 20, maybe. How much anger and rage do you have to be filled with to take a gun and randomly shoot people? A lot. Where did all that anger and rage come from? It didn't just get there. You didn't just get mad at the world. Something made you mad at the world as you were growing up. Something made you hate yourself. And chances are it's the environment that you grew up in. And parents are always going, oh, So you can't yell at kids. Do you like to be yelled at? I am all about respectful parenting. Does that mean there are no limits and boundaries? No, of course not. You have to have limits and boundaries. You have to have consequences. You should have encouragement for your children. This is why they have to have better security in elementary, middle schools, and colleges. Yes, we do need better security. And you know what else we need? Is we need to take parenting seriously. People train for everything. You're a security guard, you train for it. You're a banker, you train for it. You're a lawyer, you train for it. You're a plumber, you train for it. And yet people think that the single most important job in the entire world, raising another human into adulthood, does not need training. No, it's the child's fault. Guess what, guys? Not the child's fault. It's the system that they are being parented under, and chances are there's not even a system. I mean, let's face it, my friends, we have systems for everything. We have systems to how we're going to drive a car. We have systems how to go to the bathroom. You pull your pants down first. You don't sit on the toilet and pee in your pants. It's a system. Parenting should have a system in your home. It should be made up of a group of things like schedules and routines and limits and boundaries and encouragement and consequences and manners and calm communication. It's a system. Yes, spoiled because they're spoiled. Entitled kids are not happy kids. They want to act like they're happy, but then they become narcissists because they think the world owes them something. And a spoiled child, like you bring up, doesn't know how to deal with disappointment. Exercise your child's disappointment muscle. Let's talk about life when things don't always go your way. And if a child is brought up to believe that everything will go their way, spoiled kids are spoiled because they're given their way about everything. They are always made to be happy, not reality. And then they grow up miserable because something doesn't go their way. And they're like, whatever, everything's supposed to go my way. Why? I'm in college now. And oh my gosh, I got a C because I didn't study. They're not taught to take responsibility for their own actions. They become judgmental. They become critical. People always ask me, does too much hugging and kissing and love make a child spoiled? No. In fact, they should have love. What spoils a child and makes them entitled is you giving into their every whim. They throw a tantrum, you give in to them. They want a candy bar, you don't give it to them. They throw a tantrum, and instead of just saying, "Hey, guess what? Can't have a candy bar right now." You're like, "Okay, stop crying. Here's a candy bar." Well, now they've learned that they get to throw a tantrum, and when they do, they get their way. When parents yell and scream and lose control, guess what that is? It's a tantrum. Albeit an adult tantrum. How many adults do you know that throw tantrums? They cuss, they scream. You may work for somebody who is always negative about everything you're doing and complaining and bitching, excuse my language, about everything you're doing. Tantrum, road rage, tantrum, aggression, violence, tantrum. They're all tantrums. They are all from people who did not learn how to deal with disappointment and how to understand that, you know what, in life, you don't always get your way. And that's okay. It's okay to not always get your way. We go on, we figure out a new plan. You don't just give up. You don't just throw it, out the window and say, well, I'm done. I'm done. Let me go have something to drink because I can't deal with this. You have to help your children understand disappointment. They need to understand delayed gratification. You're not going to get what you want the second you want it. If you do give into all these things and you make sure that your child is happy 100% of the time, you are setting them up for failure. I see a lot of parents going with the path of least resistance. Yes. And more often than not, their kids are absolutely terrible. Yes. You know why, Vega? And I don't know if that's really your name. Vegas. I don't know if that's your name, but hi. You know why? It's also like kids. You know how we try to teach our kid, well, hopefully we try to teach our kids about delayed gratification and instant gratification. It's the same with parents. Why do they give in? Because they can't deal with the tantrum at that moment. So they give in to them to end the tantrum. When in reality, if they didn't give in and they just let the tantrum go there, it's calm little path, let it chill out. And then once the tantrum's over, they talk to a child. If they actually did that, you know what would happen? The child would stop having tantrums because they no longer work. So for many adults, it's also the difference between instant gratification and delayed gratification. If I do this with my child and I stick to my guns and I stay consistent, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but it may happen next week. But instead, we're like, oh, I can't deal with it. Here, just take it. You're so right. And it causes horribly entitled children that think the world owes them something instead of, what can I do for you? Light. Best way to go about two kids arguing over something small, then they start to fight at each other. Small when kids are arguing. So guys, also remember, because we need to make a change. And let me tell you guys right now, I have a brand new program out and I have like discounted it down to practically nothing. And this program will literally put a system into your home. And if you're interested, go to quityelling.com. Quityelling.com for a one-time payment of $37. If you stay consistent, you will get 21 days of putting a parenting system in your home. It is the deal of the century. It goes up to 197, which is still a deal. It is the most packed, affordable program I've ever offered. Quityelling.com. But when two kids are fighting, what happens a lot is that siblings get sick of each other. And you put them together and they're playing nicely. And we as parents don't bother to take a break and say, hi, honey, say, hey, kids, I really appreciate you guys playing so nice with each other. We don't give attention to the good behavior. Then you're on the phone, you get your phone call done. All of a sudden, they break out in fighting and arguing. And then you go in and be like, what are you guys doing? Why are you always fighting? When in reality, they're probably just plain sick of each other. They're sick of being around each other. What should you do? You should go in there, compliment them when they're playing nicely. They have a little argument, then go in there and say, you know what, guys, you've been doing great. And I know you're probably getting tired of just playing. Let's the three of us go play a game and sit down for 10 minutes and show your child some one-on-one attention and play something with your child. Don't just watch. But if it is hard, but it's totally worth it. You're right. But if they're just having a little spat, let them figure it out. As long as there's no blood, they're not killing each other. Let a little spat, let them figure it out because they need to learn how to resolve conflict. They need to learn how to look at a problem and figure it out. They can't learn conflict resolution if someone's always coming in and resolving their conflict. Give them a chance to solve it on their own. Don't let them beat each other up. Don't let them pound each other into the ground. Don't let blood happen. Then you may have to separate them. But then after things have calmed, talk about it. Ask them, how do you think you could have resolved this better? What do you think you could have done differently? Let them learn from you, but also let them try to work things out for themselves. I hope that helped. I can't remember who asked that question, but I hope that helped. You have to show your children attention when they make good choices. Whatever we feed attention to will continue. And here's a fact: your children ultimately want you to be proud of them. I know it doesn't seem that way sometimes, but they really do. They really want you to be proud of them. So when you are proud of them, let them know you're noticing. Because I'm telling you, people, if if we continue on this path of kids always seeing violence around them, of kids seeing violence in their own home where they should be the safest, and they don't feel safe because they're being hit, yelled at, screamed at, whatever, they are going to grow up full of anger and rage. And kids that grow up full of anger and rage, that anger and rage will be released somewhere on somebody else. These kids that do these school shootings, these crimes, one with a gun. A couple years ago, I don't know if you remember that somebody drove through an alley in New York City and plowed people down with a van. If they're anger and they're angry and they're full of rage, they will take it out however they can. Usually they'll be dealing with drugs and alcohol because they're miserable. My son always wants me to buy him toys online on Amazon or at the store. He has enough toys. He calls the action figures. He has enough. Don't buy them. I'll give you a great thing you can do, though, and it works great for my 6-year-old grandson. If you go into a store or Amazon, take a snapshot of the toy they want and tell them, or in Amazon, you can put it on the list and say, I'm going to put it on your list because when it's holiday time, birthday time, people always ask me what to get you. So I'm going to take a snapshot of this toy that you want and I'm going to put it on your list for you. Okay. We can't buy it now, but let's get it on that list so someone else can get it for you as a gift. This works so well. My 5-year-old grandson wanted to go to Target with me one day, and he never wants to go shopping. And I said, Brooks, why do you want to go to Target? And he said, so I can take pictures. So I can take pictures of the things I want on my list. My job here is done. He just wanted to go to take pictures. Yay. That's what he wanted to do. He don't want to buy anything. He just wanted to take pictures. It's really good because you feel bad saying no, but we cannot say yes to everything. We cannot give in to everything. Take pictures. I'm telling you, it works. I mean, a 5-year-old boy wanted to go to Target to take pictures. And on the other side, it is true. If somebody says, what does your child want? You're like, hey, he actually wants this or she wants this. And you have like a growing list. So handy in all ways, helpful to your child, helpful to you when solving things. And they know right off the bat, if we're going to the store to buy Caden a gift for his birthday, we can't buy you a toy, honey. Give him a heads up, but we can take a picture if you see something and add it to your list. Be a proactive parent, not a reactive parent. Reactive parents yell and scream and wind up giving in because they feel guilty. Do not parent out of guilt. Please do not parent out of guilt. You're not doing your child any favors. You are actually hurting your child. If you always try to make your child happy, you are ultimately doing them a disservice. Please don't do that. If you're throwing up your hand, say, I don't know what to do, go to quityelling.com and get that 21 days to stop yelling. It will give it, I will send an email to you every day with a video of me, and I will tell you something new to put into your home for 21 days. If you implement them and stay consistent, it's a game changer, guys. And it's $37. Really? Could I make it any cheaper? It is a bargain, and it's not staying at that price forever. Plus, guys, you know what I just started? If you're on Instagram, I just started my subscription channel. So you can do subscriptions. I'm going to be giving people that have subscriptions all kinds of inside information, more more tips, but they'll be more like step-by-step things so you can solve specific problems. I'm going to have Q&A on Instagram, all kinds of things. And the first 5 people that join, because I literally just set this up, it's regularly, I think it's $5 a month, $4.95, whatever. You get it for half price. $2.50 forever to be on my subscription. So you can do that on Instagram, however you can do that. I don't even know how to do that. I don't even know. Maybe somebody knows. You hit subscribe or something. But it's now available on Instagram. So I'm telling you, I'm going to give you guys all kinds of downloadable PDFs, all kinds of help to make sure you're becoming an intentional, proactive parent. It'll be a game changer for you. Because if we all don't take responsibility for these kids that are our future, it is just going to get worse. All this violence that these kids act out will just get worse. How will we save the next generation and the next generation? By being intentional with this generation. By helping kids in the Day of Calm Foundation. If you believe in my mission, support the Day of Calm. You can support it with $1. I visit schools. I have a friend of mine that visits that's in it. He visits jails and schools. I do parent trainings. All this we do for free to really change the dynamic of this country and internationally, frankly. But the school visits, the jail visits, they go on here. The parent visits, the student visits. Colleges, we do international. I did a few trainings in India. Let's take real action. Real action is not controlling guns, although guns need control. The guy who killed all those people with a van. We're not going to stop all vans. Real action is getting to the problem at the human core. That's what we do at Day of Calm. You can go to dayofcalm.org. Best way to get your kids off their tablet and TV. I have a good program for that. I have a good training. And actually, if you do my Stop Yelling training, it's in there too. But I also have screensandgames.com or maybe gamesandscreens.com. I do a whole training, but it's up to you. You have to schedule it in. You have to schedule it into the day. You have to do transitions correctly with choices, and you have to make your children part of the solution. Do not just hand tablets to entertain and babysit them. Do not just turn on the TV and have it running all day long. You need to be intentional with scheduling that time in. It's up to us, guys. You're the boss of them. If you go into my, all the books fell down. If you go into my book, there's a chapter that says, who's in charge here? And you will see on page 79, who's in charge here? Here it is. Who's in charge here? What's it say? You are. I almost ended this chapter right there. But I decided that I would tell you more about it. So the next paragraph's like, I guess I'll tell you more on that. I was going to end the chapter here, but I'll tell you more since you bought the book. Yay, you joined. Did you join the 21 days to stop yelling? Is that what you joined? Anyway, I love you guys. Healing tree reflexology. Oh, I have to follow you so I can learn more about you. Thank you. What is the best way to deal with siblings fighting? Sarah, we kind of went through that, but I'll give you a little condensed version of it. So it's involved. It's in here, siblings, if you want my book. which just won a Mom's Choice Award. Woo! It's not even on here yet because it's so new. Soon it will be on the book. But siblings fighting, start giving attention to what your kids are doing right. Don't always keep them together. Remember that siblings fight most of the time because they're plain sick of each other. Would you agree? Do you remember having a sibling? Do you remember being with them all the time? They get sick of each other. We all get sick of each other. So give them some alone time too. And if it's just a little spat, let them try to work it out. Don't just jump in immediately. I hope that helps. I mean, there's more involved than that. But if you want to learn the whole system, go to quityelling.com. Quityelling.com. So you can quit yelling. But guys, I'm telling you, if we as a generation of older people, and I don't mean me because I'm really old, I mean you guys who have children. Oh, you're so welcome, Sarah. Go to celiasbooks.com. celiasbooks.com has links to that book, which is in English and Spanish, and my kids' books too, which go directly to Amazon, tell you the truth. Please, how do I stop my baby girl of 1 year, 4 months from tantrums, dragging for items and hitting as well? Okay, so she is 1 year and 4 months. Let's think about this, Anu. And I hope I'm saying your name right. Guys, at 1 year and 4 months, she has only been on this planet, alive, out of your womb for 1 year and 4 months. That's it. 1 year and 4 months. And the majority of that time, she was a blob, right? She's only becoming like a human. Give her a break. First of all, the way children communicate at birth is through crying, motions, waving hands, stuff like that. That's how they communicate. They don't know language until they're taught language. They throw tantrums because they are filled with emotions. And when they get disappointed or mad or upset or anything like that, they don't know how to regulate that. Their subconscious mind, the part of our brain that we cannot control, that controls our breathing and our blood flow and our muscle usage and all of that, that part of our brain spits out a response to being angry or mad. And that's a tantrum, throwing something, biting something, kicking something. It's your job to let that calm down, not give into it, and then talk about other ways for her to deal with disappointment. She doesn't know how. It's not built in. She has to learn. Someone has to teach her, and that someone is you. And if you're screaming and yelling, that's what she's learning. How to get my son to take listening more serious. Maybe he just doesn't want to listen, but it causes him to get in trouble. Okay, well, that may be how you're communicating with him. How are you giving instruction? Are you giving proper choices for him to empower himself? Or are you just being demanding? Are you giving age appropriate instruction? Are you using your manners? How are you talking to him? There's a lot of questions of how you are communicating and encouraging your child to listen. You're so welcome. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Anu. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you, honey. Okay. So guys, you know what? If you subscribe to my channel, which is new, and I just set up so that the first 5 people that subscribe from this broadcast can subscribe for $2.50, half price. It's usually $5. $2.50. And the nice thing is you're $2.50 forever. So if you're on Instagram with me right now and you subscribe, it will only cost $2.50. I am going to do live Q&A for subscribers only. I am going to give you guys step-by-step trainings for subscribers only. I will give you downloadable documents that you can do to help your home for subscribers only. And regular price is only $5. I mean, so on Facebook, go to my Instagram channel, which is, and I don't even know if I can type this in. I'll respond to you, but it is parenting_expert underscore toddlers. Parenting underscore expert underscore toddlers. And I believe if you look up Celia Kibler, it will take you there. But if you go there, that channel, you can start subscribing as of today. I just set it up for you guys. Okay. So subscribe. You'll get a whole bunch of freebies, a whole bunch of private conversations where we can have Q&A. I mean, we're talking the first 5 is $2.50 a month. What is that? That's not even a coffee at Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. It's barely a drink at a fast food place. But that's only for the first 5. So you got to get in quick. After that, it's $5 a month. It's ridiculously low. I have 10 million people I want to help. So I'm going to get there by giving things at great pricing that everyone can afford. You shouldn't have to be a millionaire to raise good kids. Everyone needs to be in on this. It is all our job to stop all the rage and anger that's going on in this world right now. It's our job. We need to affect it positively. And the only way we're going to change it is to change all of this at the human core. What's the human core? The human core is the day we're born and how we are raised, intentionally, proactively. That's it. Honey, if you don't have Instagram, you can still get my Stop Yelling in 21 Days program. That will be awesome. It's only $37. Go to quityelling.com. Quityelling.com. Okay? And get that. You can also join my Tranquility Tribe, which is a bigger group coaching group. Okay, those are some ways if you don't have Instagram. I knew, what if we are already following your Instagram? Okay, so now there's a subscription. And subscription, following it gives you all public access to me. The subscription on Instagram gives you private access to me. That's the best way I can describe it. I make stuff just for you subscribers. Okay, and it's a monthly of, if you get to be the first 5, $2.50. After that, a monthly fee of $5. Which is like a deal. Seriously, a deal. Okay, guys, you know what? I have a client in like 4 minutes soon. So I'm grateful that all of you joined me today. I really appreciate you being here and taking time out of your very busy schedules. I really, really am grateful because I know you're part of this group that feels like I do. If you want to stop yelling in 21 days, go to quityelling.com for a one-time payment of $37. You can put a parenting system right into your home. Oh, you are so welcome, Light. You are a shining light to me. If you want to subscribe and you're on Instagram, hit that subscribe thing, whatever it is. I don't really know what it is, but I think there's a button. So hit that button. And also, guys, I really appreciate you being here. Any questions, reach out to me, send me a private message, whatever. I'm here to help you. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I wish you all days of peace, love, tons of laughter. Don't forget to laugh. Stuff is funny. You're funny. Your kids are funny. Laugh more. Have more fun. We're only here for a short time. None of us are getting out of here live. So we might as well have a great time. Yes or yes. Okay, guys, I'll see you here next time every Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m. here on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. And no, did I say 8 a.m.? No, 10:30 a.m. 10:30 a.m. Okay. Every Tuesday morning, 10:30 a.m. Unless something goes wrong. I'll be here with you. And I wish you guys a very happy, intentional, proactive day. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Not that I know how to stop. Oh, yeah, I do know how to stop. Bye, guys. Love you.